Hi folks, it's Chris in Arena Studio Land. If you want to know how I practice my legato to improve things and get the maximum results with the minimum amount of effort, then this is the video for you. Welcome back folks, legato. For me, one of the big things that I always seem to struggle with over the years, and you might have seen one or two little video vlogs on the channel, remember the hashtag Arena Studio Crew, is my pinky causes me the biggest problem. So again, I've taken a bit of a break from the guitar because I was having a few joint problems. Finger joint problems, and it's turned out that I've neglected a lot of playing over the last few months. Well, now I've got a bit more time because of lockdown. I've caught up with a lot of work and production work and everything, and I'm good to go, which is great. So now I've got my guitar playing mojo back, and I'm trying to get back to where I was before. So what I tend to like to do is I hate working to a metronome, and if you saw a little live stream that I did a couple of weeks ago, you'll see that there was a pattern on there of if we take a 3-note per string major scale, C major scale. Okay, that's the pattern that I was working on. How I've gone about this is, if you remember that I was doing basically like a pick and letting the pick drop onto the next string and using the hammer-ons and the pull-offs to make the notes ring out. Now there's some great legato players out there on YouTube. You know, if you're really serious about getting into this legato thing, check out the likes of Rick Graham for an example. Rick Graham's a phenomenal guitar player, and his legato is probably one of the best I've ever seen. For me, it's not so much about trying to be a legato master, it's about just adding that element of speed for me in playing. You know, I'm very focused on certain elements, I suppose, of production when I'm making music and playing. And for me, how I approach it is, when you listen to, sometimes you'll listen to a violinist where they'll da 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 da. You don't tend to hear guitar players going down, 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 down. Well, for me, the legato gives me the opportunity to try and apply something like that into my playing. So for me, I've just worked on the fundamental thing of, say, the major scale, like I showed you before, where it's literally pick, hammer, hammer, and if you notice, the pick lands onto the next string, so it picks the 6th string and then falls through onto the 5th string. Then I repeat that again. And so on, right across the scale, so you get the... Okay, so for me, that was one element of taking any discrepancies out of my picking. By trying to do it with alternate picking as I go down, up, etc. across the strings. I might not be explaining this the best way, but for me the efficiency of the pick was one of the secrets to it, of synchronizing this left and right hand together. Fluffs in there, you can tell I don't practice, you see, and this is what I'm trying to get back to, is get the practice up to where it needs to be, the performance side of things. So how I go about this is, rather than working to a metronome, ascending and descending the scale, I'll look on sections of it. So for an example, I'll put a link, there should be a little link up there now to this track. You can stream it on the YouTube video for nothing, it's there, it's either you can stream it on Spotify, whatever. It's 105 BPM, we're in the key of C major, and this is how I would probably just take that element of boredom out of practicing something like this, running up and down the scale, trying to get this left and right hand synchronized, and just to build a little bit of fluidity. What a great word. Fluidity into, I don't even know whether it's a real word, fluidity into my playing. And as you know, a lot of guitar players that will play legato, they'll have their string dampeners on there. I haven't got one on this SG. I can't be bothered to put one on because I'm bone idle, really, and I want to just get up and practice. But in a way, it's not a bad thing for me because I'm quite sloppy with technique at times. So if I've got a lot of distortion, which goes against all the rules for working on legato, it means that I have to palm mute a little bit more as well. So I'm working on trying to deaden the strings as I'm going through, and I think a string dampener for me is brilliant, and I use them a lot, but for certain elements of practice I'll ditch them and try and get left and right hands combining the dampening between them, hopefully. My brain's going blah, 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 blah. You can probably see that, can't you, that it's working overload today. So this is how I would practice running up and down that scale to this backing track of 105 beats per minute. Here we go. So I'll just let it kick in, and like I say, you've got access to this track. It should be out there now. In the description there'll be a link. You'll see from that when I started off, a few fluffs, a little bit sloppy, it's warts and all, you know, that's what it's all about, this. It's not a slick Hollywood-produced video. You get to see all the flaws and all the mistakes and everything that I do, because we all make mistakes as guitar players, and that's why we're on this journey to try and control and develop less of those mistakes on this journey of musical pleasure and fruition. All right, so I would ascend and descend like that, which is great, and it's boring, and the reason why I use a backing track at a specific tempo is because it stops that boredom of tick, 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 tick going on, and in a way you're semi-applying the technique to a song, in a song example anyway, you know. So again, it's ticking a couple of little boxes for me. It helps me to play, if you listen, probably, I bet if you played that section again, if you just rewound the video, I bet you can see that there's timing discrepancies in there till my brain actually just goes click and locks on, and then I start to settle into the playing a little bit more when the focus is on there. So again, you know, it's a warm-up thing. I would probably do that for maybe 3 times, and the track's probably 5 minutes long, so there's 15 minutes of just drilling up and down, getting that right hand pick falling through those strings while I'm synchronizing left and right hands. The next thing that I would look at then is applying maybe a couple of patterns, which are pretty straightforward patterns, and they've been done a million times out there. 6 notes. First one would be this. Okay, so I do a pick, 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 pick. And when I'm rolling, it's actually 2 picks on the 6 notes, so it's actually 3 to get it going, and then 2 after that. So it's pick, 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 pick. You can drill it again in isolation like that, so that's your first, your 6th and your 5th string, your first 6 notes taken care of. Brain's not keeping up with my mouth today, have you noticed? Jeez, I don't know. So the next thing would then apply that pattern to the next 2 strings, 5 and 4. Okay, and so on, and then 4 and 3. So you start to see how you can build these combinations then with these patterns that we're working on. Next 2. Finally. Now, out of all those shapes that you're working across in pairs of strings, you're going to find 1 or maybe 2 or even 3 positions that are more difficult than others. So those are the ones that you've got to put that intense extra bit of time on. So not only will I warm up doing like we did to the backing track, I'll then put the track on and just literally do something like this. again, I'm applying those exercises in more of a musical scenario than a tick, tick, tick thing, really, with the metronomes, which is just, I just find working with metronomes soul destroying. I still do it, I do it daily with certain things. But that's one of the shapes that I would use. Another shape that I would work on, which is going to develop this going from an ascending pick to a descending pick pattern. It's literally where you would go, whoops, see, what's and all. So again, that's just a pick, 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 pick. And what that's creating is an inside string picking movement, which is a little bit of a killer for some guys to work on. It's a bit difficult for me. And then I would take that to another stage and combine both those two exercises to give us something like this. Oh, there's the phone. Gotta go. It's another client for some mastering, because it's come up on the phone saying mastering guy. So he's the one that wants his track sorting. I'll get back to him in a little bit. But yeah, I would combine both the exercises like this. Move it around your shapes in your scale shape again. So again, you know, you can combine these shape little patterns and create monster runs with them, really. The other thing that I'm just going to touch on quickly for you is the problem that I have with this pinky all the time. So I do like to look at maybe another shape which is going to get this, where you get 3 strings but it's 2 picks. 3 strings, 2 picks. And I've also utilised this oh dear me, this is without a drink. Utilise this exercise to strengthen my 3rd and 4th, it just goes from bad to worse, these videos, don't they? This 3rd and 4th string. Fingers, 3rd and 4th fingers, jeez. So again, I would look at something like this, which is probably, what's this going to be? It's more like a sort of C Dorian-ish, I would say, pattern this is. Which is going 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13. And then I would do pick. Galore. So you can see how that's the bit that is causing me the problem. That needs to be worked on more. I do find if I probably put about 20 minutes of warm-ups in on this, I find that it's a little bit more controlled and there's less errors and mistakes in there. But there's no point in me putting pristine shot, perfect playing and performed videos. You know, you're not going to get the full element of what all this is about. It's to show you all the mistakes on the journeys that we go through as guitar players. Mistakes are good, you learn from mistakes, you know, so don't beat yourself up if you're causing a lot of problems on your playing. Find the problem that you're working on and then just put the problem right, and then you'll find that you'll make big steps forward on your progress. So that's the mainstay at the moment, all those little routines that I've shown you that I'm working on, and I'm doing 30 minutes of that a day. In various combinations over the tracks. So I'm not bothered about bursting the speed barrier at first. I'm going back to I'm trying to get the quality in there rather than the quantity. The quantity is something that follows once you've got those drilled in there, those sort of pattern shapes. Let's have a look. So say we had something like that one. You should be able to swap and change them around. And then what I like to do then is put the track back on as a reward for all the hard work that you're putting on your practice session. Put the track back on and have a little jam over the top and see whether you can apply some of these extra things that you've been working on. So I'm just going to wing this for you now, and hopefully we'll get something that's of use. Possibly loads of fluffs and mistakes, but if there is, So again, you know, it's good to make mistakes when you're practicing like that. You know, that's what it's all about. You find where your errors were, and I know exactly what caused that little fluff on that little run up there, and it was where I went from the 3rd to the 2nd string, where we've got the shift. Not only are we going like that, but we're going like that as well. So we've got that. So again, that's something that I would probably drill that for maybe a couple of minutes each day, just to try and put extra work on those weaker bits and pull those that are worse back up to where they need to be. All right, I'm probably getting into the realms of prattling on a little bit for this lesson for you, but I do try and cram in what I can. It's great. Give the videos and the channel likes and subscribes. If you want to comment, if you've anything productive and constructive to say, and if I can help you out with any of it, then I will do. It's always a pleasure. And stay safe and well, and keep up the practice, and let me know how your progress goes, see whether this is any good for you. If it's not, we'll look at some other approach, or if you have got an issue with something that you're working on, let me know and I'll see whether I can correct it for you myself. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care and stay well.